Hi, everybody, and welcome to Cinema Activist. My name's John Lyons, and I'm your host. And I'm here in the Schuster Theater on Gannon University's campus, where we are doing a lot of our rehearsals for Tethered's new upcoming show, The Lever. And on this episode, I'm going to be talking to a couple members of the cast. First up is Dr. Paul Lukach. Paul, how are you, good sir?
I'm great. Having a great day.
It's awesome to have you involved in the show. I've known you for a little while. This is our first time working together, and it's really exciting for me personally. So thanks for being part.
Happy to be a part of it. I haven't done theater in a while, so this is exciting to jump back into it. And this is certainly a new and different experience that I haven't been exposed to before.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your background. Where did you always want to be a performer? Were you on the more producing, writing, directing side? Where were your interests initially?
So all over the place. The first show I ever saw, I was, 13 years old, and it was West Side Story.
Oh, there you go.
And I thought, I have to do this. I have to do this. So as a young person, I got involved in every possible theater thing I could do. Being out in the country was a little bit more difficult to find those opportunities, but I did. Continued it in college. In fact, did a little minor theater thing when I was in college. Did a lot of stuff like that. Jumped into the professional world for a while, got away from it. I came back to another small community where that was their kind of socialization.
Oh, wow.
So I joined a community theater group where I ended up becoming the president of. And for 10 years, I was kind of running that. So I wasn't only acting, I was directing, I was finding shows to do. I was doing all the heavy lifting behind who can build our sets, who can I beg to paint. We have $10 in our budget. How do we make a show happen like that?
That's a lot of hats.
All of those kind of things. And it was really a lot of fun. And that catapulted me into doing some other community theater groups. The thing about community groups are these people want to be there. They want to do it. And the audiences want to see it because it is their socialization and it is their friends and it is their people they work with and they're the people they know. So they want to do that and support it. No matter how good or bad it is, they always seem to have a good time. And that was always reassuring. And then I was asked to teach theater at the University of Pittsburgh, one of their branch campuses. So I did that, which was really very cool. So I feel like I had a real good rounded experience doing all those things. And I love doing all those things. But this is different. This immersive theater thing is a bit different than any of that. So again, another new, exciting thing that I can participate in.
What do you find from your past experience is most useful bringing to a show like this? What skills do you need for a show like this? And have you picked up some of those in interesting ways from your prior experiences?
I always like writing grants, which I did a lot of that too. You never throw away a bad grant or an old grant. You always save it because there's always some glitter of something that might help you in the future. And I think the same theater, every good experience, every bad experience, every potential interaction with theater on the set, behind the set, working as a supporter gives you some opportunity to say, I understand what goes into a show, especially understanding the hard work that no one ever sees. How did this show come about? Who wrote it? Where are the props coming from? You guys, where are the rehearsal spaces? How does that work? Can we navigate that? Do we even have any money to spend?
Right.
What about costumes? What about, logistics? What about, are we infringing on someone's, personal stories and all of that kind of stuff? So I have a great appreciation for all the stuff that happens before the actors are even chosen or coming on stage. But again, I think everything you do, gives you another opportunity to appreciate the next thing you're going to do.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for saying that. I knew you had a lot of varied experience for sure. And I was, like I said, I was very excited that you joined the team. I was curious, have you ever done anything like this before? Have you ever done any improv before?
I've done improv. And in fact, as some fundraising, I actually created very, one night only improv groups where I'd say, okay, here are my 7 friends. You're going to do this. And I stole a lot of things from Whose Line Is It Anyway? And the things that they did that kind of gave me a platform. And we did, do couple rehearsals just to say, hey, these are maybe the scenarios that might come. But we were really honest in saying, hey, audience, what do you think? And trying to pick those things out. Nice. So yeah, I did. I was more behind the scenes putting it together than being on the stage.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, even, waiting for your scene to happen in a rehearsal, there were so many times when, somebody would grab a prop and do something stupid with it backstage. And that created a whole improv moment that probably could have been something had we remembered what the hell we were doing and not paying attention to the director. But yeah, so I really appreciate that. And I actually think, because I do like to talk to people and I do like to share experiences and sometimes even for fun, embellish those experiences just to see if people are actually listening, that I'm going to be okay with the whole improv thing.
I think you will be too. Yeah, for sure. So we're recording this on day 5 of rehearsals. So we've just started out. How has your experience been so far as the auditioning process, rehearsals? What has surprised you? What has terrified you? What are you most excited about? I know it's still early stage. But...
So funny, I was terrified to even come, and it was a last minute thing to decide, and I hurried up and learned I went online and find a really quick monologue to do and whatever, and the first few minutes in that room, I was like, I got to get the hell out of here. This isn't for me. But then I fell in love with it. I mean, everything we did was great. I really, at the end of that rehearsal or that audition moment, that was really a fun experience.
Do you want to talk, because whoever's watching and listening to this doesn't know how we structured the audition?
So
share a little bit about it.
We first introduced who we were and why we might be involved and what experience we had, pretty typical stuff.
In a group.
And then we broke off into smaller groups and we had to talk about some real experience of our life, that was life-changing or very memorable or whatever. And that was first a little awkward, but we started sharing and it was kind of neat because some of those people are in the show and I'm like, I have a connection with them now. I remember when we did this. That was kind of cool. The thing I really liked is when after we all did our monologues, the directors and producers asked different ones of us to do these little, you are now this, and you are going to take, this storyline and work with it. I loved that. I thought that was so much fun. And even watching all the other people, coming up with their clever, made up stories on the spot was really fun. So I thought that was great. Going back to the rehearsals, I would consider this, and this is, I think, typical of any beginning theater in the first, couple of weeks, organized chaos.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to figure out how this is all going to go together. So I'm excited because every time we rehearse, there's a little bit more like, oh, okay, okay, here's how I'm feeling. Here's how I'm supposed to do this. Here's my biggest concern is, because I'm going to be doing a lot of, in my role as executive director of this agency, I'm going to be doing a lot of interacting with the audience, especially early on.
Yeah.
My biggest concern is having audience members being too interested in my story and wanting to pull my ear for a long time, or presenting me with something that will totally take me by surprise.
Right.
That would be hard for me to do because I think I can, in my work, what I did prior to this, I think I was presented with a lot of crazy ass things and you just have to react appropriately in the moment. So I think I can do that. But there's always that moment of, I don't know how to respond to what you just asked.
Yeah.
And there's 7 other people listening now too.
Yep. Yeah, that might happen. You'll figure it out. You'll roll with it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your character without spoiling, the overall arc of your character. The executive director of this nonprofit organization called Feed Our Neighbors, and they're having their annual report meeting.
Right.
And you kind of think of yourself as like a man of the people. I told you before, he was an early inspiration, like Joe Biden was an early inspiration, like kind of working class. He sees himself working class, even though, he's part of the elite structure in the city. What are your kind of general thoughts about the character?
So I have decided that my character comes from Minnesota.
Okay.
And is still trying to be everyday Erie. You know, so there's some people okay with it. There's some people like, you're still an outsider because, you know, you have to be here like 50 years to be, you know, an Erie 8, right?
Yeah.
But I'm very proud of my work, and I'm very pleased with where I've come with. Even if other people aren't so impressed, I am impressed with what I've done and what I've accomplished. And so I feel like I want to share that. But because I have all these great experiences in my life, because I've been fortunate enough, I want to couch everything in one of those experiences. I want to talk about how I, you know, walked across the faces of Mount Rushmore, and, you know, which I don't think you're allowed to do, but I'm going to,
you're going to say
it. And how that likens yourself to, you know, putting yourself in the place of these great men and the work that they do. So I think that I'm excited about kind of, you know, rolling out that, you know, look at me, I'm so good, but I really did do good for the organization, and we're going to celebrate that tonight in this meeting. I also think I'm very aloof. I think there's a lot of things going on that I have no idea about, and that's going to be an issue.
For sure. That's a great tease. Paul, thank you so much. And I look forward to developing this show and finding this character with you.
Yeah, I hope it's everything that everybody wants it to be. You know, that's the thing about live theater. You don't know until it's over how it went. And I love that whole idea.
Now it's a pleasure to be joined by Frederick Williams. Frederick and I go back a little bit. Fred, you starred in There Are No Goodbyes, which is a film we made together 15 years ago almost?
2011.
2011.
Or the beginning of 2010.
So 15 years ago. Yeah. It's awesome to see you. It's amazing to be reunited and to work in this new space that, you know, both you and I are figuring out, immersive theater. So why don't you talk about how acting, you know, started in your life, and you know, how you found your way into film, how you found your way into voice work, and how you found your way into this production. Give us your life story, Frederick Williams.
Well, it's, you know, I never thought about being an actor, you know, actor. I thought about being a voice actor.
Okay, from an early age?
No.
When did you first start thinking about, like, yeah, I could do that?
That was about 2007 or 2008.
Okay. When you were still a young buck.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, I was encouraged that I should be using my voice more. And I decided,
great voice.
Yeah. And I decided to pursue that. Never thinking that I would get into acting, you know, I mean, physically acting, where people see me. But I did that, and I stumbled across a director who thought I should audition for his movie.
Who was that?
That was you.
Oh, all right.
And I had no idea, you know, how I was going to act, you know, because I said, wow, I've never really done that. And I turned down the first audition. And
so what brought you to the second audition?
Actually, I called you and said, you don't want this old guy, you know. I mean, at the time I was like 51 years old, you know, and giving away my age, of course, now. but you know, and you said, well, you know, give it a shot, you know.
Yeah.
And I said, because you only had one more audition. I said, well, okay, I'll go down. My wife said, well, just go down and give it a shot.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad she did.
Yeah.
Shout out to her.
So I read the script, and I had it down, and I asked you to send me a couple, you know, what the movie was about, and give me some sides,
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I can use that term now because I've been around the block a few times. But anyway, I read the sides and I get down there and interview time came and you came out and said, oh, I have another script for you to read. And I was totally
I did that. I threw you a curveball.
Oh, I was totally thrown out of the league. You know, I said,
man, what a jerk.
Really? And I said, I didn't practice for that.
Yeah.
Don't you? You should remember that. And
I don't remember doing that.
Yeah.
That's maybe, I don't think I did it on purpose.
I was going to be the neighbor.
Oh, right. I do remember this now.
And
then we thought of you for the other role.
Right. And so
for Fenris.
So yeah, he said, you have the voice for, you know, maybe this Fenris character. I said, I didn't study for that.
Yeah.
And well, just read it anyway. I said, and I get the script and I read it and I did the best I could, but I thought I failed, you know, and I went home and I told my wife about it. And I said, I just blew this audition that I will never probably get another one. So,
and then the rest is
history. The rest is history.
So Fred co-starred in There Are No Goodbyes with Matthew King, who was in Tethered last year. So you've done more film work since There Are No Goodbyes. What's some of the stuff that you've done?
I did a movie which is now on Tubi. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Angel of Reckoning.
Cool. That's a Len Kabasinski?
That's a Len Kabasinski movie. I did Blood Prism.
Yep.
Which is also on Tubi. I did another movie called Hellcat's Revenge.
Okay. You've done the number of
yeah, I've done about and not all of the thing about being in the indie market, and I've learned this because I've been in about 14 of them.
Awesome.
And you know, from here to Virginia to the backwoods of Ohio.
Cool.
And so I found myself being in the indie market.
Yeah.
You know, and I liked it.
Yeah.
You know, to me, being in front of the camera was like being in sports. You know, you don't see the audience, or you don't really see. Well, once you're into the character, you don't really see that. Now, I was born with that. I never had any formal training. Okay,
right.
And I've never had any formal training in speech, other than in classes that I took when I was in college and, you know, in high school and that type of thing. And I was a lector at one time.
That's right. You were a lector. Yeah, I remember that.
And people would say, hey, you have a nice voice. So
good storyteller.
To get myself, since I wasn't in the indie market, but I wanted to expand.
Yeah.
So I was doing voiceovers for people.
Yeah.
And my last voiceover was I did it for the Chronicles at
WQLN.
Nice
for our PBS affiliate. Right. Yeah, which is an multi-Emmy award winning series.
And I did the entry on that for Harry T. Burley.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I have that on my.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And that's great.
It started that off, and it was good, and you know, and I had fun doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm still moving on.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've also done some theater work. You haven't done immersive theater before, right?
No.
But you have been in some stage plays.
Yeah, my home theater was All-in-Act Theater.
Yep.
Before its demise, at the building caught on fire, and it just it never got back together. But we did a number of plays there. I did.
I saw you in a couple there. Yeah.
Macbeth, 12 Angry Men, The Sensuous Senator. I played Crooks in Mice and Men,
Yep.
Mice and Men.
Yep. Yeah. So you've got, okay. So you've done quite a lot over, ever since you decided to start giving this thing a try.
Yeah. And the thing is, I was always asked, when people saw, and, they liked what I was doing.
Yeah.
And that's what I do now.
Mm-hmm.
I do it for the audience.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
And I like to hide behind characters.
Yeah. Well, for this show, so for Tethered's The Lever, it's all about the audience. It's very audience centric. And your character is the retired police chief, Hank. He's a different kind of character.
Oh, he sure is. And
what are your thoughts about Hank?
Well, it's going to stretch me. You're going to put me to the real test. And the audience will decide whether or not, I pass. But right now, the character is, he's something that I want to challenge.
How would you describe Hank? You're just starting to dive into him a little bit, but what do you understand about him, and how are you approaching this character?
Well, Hank, he's determined, and he has reason to be.
He's running for mayor.
He's running for mayor, and in running for mayor, he has no doubt that he should be mayor.
Yeah.
Because he came from the community.
Yeah.
Okay. And
he knows what's best.
That's right. And he's been around the block.
Yeah.
He's worked his way through, and his next step is being mayor.
Yeah.
And people already know that.
Yeah.
Because they know him. And hopefully I can do his character real justice.
I can't wait to see it. I talked to Paul about his experiences in the auditions and the rehearsals so far. How would you say, how's this been going for you so far?
Well, I've done a lot of auditions, okay? And where I had to do it, they gave me 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And
this was hours.
Yeah.
Literal hours.
Yeah. So
how was that? Were you weren't anticipating that, I'm guessing?
No, I wasn't,
Yeah.
I did 2 versions of it.
Yeah.
Of this character, the nice guy and the determined guy.
Yeah. I'll share really quick. So these were workshop style auditions, and we said to bring a 1 to 2 minute monologue to perform, but we said that, that's just going to be part of the experience. So most people, I would say like 90% of the people who auditioned for us brought like an already existing piece. Well, Frederick, I don't know if you improvised or if you worked that out ahead of time. You probably worked it out ahead of time, but Frederick performed as the retired police chief character who he is auditioning for, which was very impressive, sir.
Yeah. Well, thank you, because, it pulled me in.
Yeah.
And then when I had to do the other side of that performance, I had to think about it, and I only had a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And I went out there and I got lost in it, being I was the mayor to be.
Yeah. Yeah. It was awesome.
And I next thing you know, I'm looking at, and they're thinking that I'm really doing this.
Yeah. Which is great.
Yeah. And so
I loved watching it.
And so
it was very impressive, and it was surprising, and I'm glad you made that choice for sure. Everybody could instantly see you in the character. So before we wrap, is there anything you want to share about, the cast that you're working with, that you're getting to know, the rehearsal process, like anything you want to share?
Well, I've never been in a immersive type of theater. It's different. I have a good group of people that I'm working with who we all share a commonality of interest, and we're all actors, and so far we're all comfortable.
Yeah, it's interesting. The dynamic's already like taking hold.
Right.
Yeah, which we're very happy about.
And I'm very happy about it because I can work well. I've worked with a couple actors. I mean,
yeah,
real good actors.
Yeah.
And
like known.
No. One played on the series Criminal Minds.
Yep.
And he's a good friend of mine. I talk to him on a regular basis, and he gave me a lot of pointers, like never look into the camera.
Yeah.
Look at the top of the camera.
Yeah.
But this group is a good group.
Cool.
I think as we're bonding, it's going to be a great show.
Yeah.
People are going to want to see this.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited. We've got a ways to go. But so far it's going good. Well, thank you for being here, Fred. So just so everybody that's watching and listening to this knows, if you sign up for the Lion's Den Productions Tethered Cinema Activist newsletter, you will get first access to tickets for the show. So you're listening to this on a Thursday. On Monday, we're going to email out the pre-sales code, and you'll have a week of early access to tickets for The Lever. So you can go to tetheredimmersive.com, scroll to the bottom of that page, click on the newsletter sign up link, and sign up before Monday morning, and we will give you the code. And then you can check out Fred and Paul and everybody else in the cast. Thank you for listening. We'll be back soon.